All right, are we ready? Okay, all right. So I stumbled across some chatter on the interwebs. They were talking about the generation wars, and someone says that they are pointless. So my question is, are they pointless or do they serve a purpose? Is there any generation that has it worse than the generation before did, or do you think it's just...
So you're talking about like being called like a Gen X or
a millennial? And
yeah, it's pointless.
there's some people that say that their generation had it way worse than the one before, or this generation is lazy, or they don't want to, there's a bunch of that.
Everybody has a different perspective of how each generation is.
Mm-hmm.
Because like what the new generation is, what Gen Z, they're considered lazy, right? Nobody wants to work.
They're like the oldest
Right.
are like 14.
I understand that, but that's like the common.
Yeah. Well, they say that about
No.
millennials too, though.
Right.
Which is,
Okay, so that's fine. Either way. So who's saying that? Boomers? Everyone's gonna think that, and they're
Yeah.
elderly at the moment. So like,
yeah.
everybody thinks.
I think a lot of it's like these people in like their 20s are lazy and everything, and most people that say that is a generation that raised those kids.
That's the argument I've
Right.
always
Yeah,
thought.
they
It's
really
like,
like,
it's your
look in
fault?
the
you
mirror.
complain about us,
Yeah.
but you raise this generation, so
It's very true.
And then we'll complain about the people we raise. So
Yeah.
It's just the way it is.
it's
I-
pointless.
We all think it's pointless.
Yeah.
Yes. I feel like it will always happen. It doesn't matter. In the future, the generations will always complain about the ones before them, and it will just be a non-stop thing. But I don't really think. I mean, I don't know. I don't see any benefit from them though, other than just to stir up arguments and fights.
It's just to associate or identify. It's just another way to categorize people.
Yeah. And then my thing with it is I hate that it always changes. Like the definition of a millennial. You know how many times I've seen where like you're only a millennial if you're born like in 1991, between 1991 and like the year 2002.
I think
And then
that's-
another one will be like if you're born in 1988 or 1987. Like the gap
I think
always
that's been
changes.
fixed in the last like couple of years. Like I think in the last I would say probably maybe like 5 or so years.
Mhm.
I don't think that has shifted.
You don't think so?
No, because if you look at it, you can
Mhm.
look to see where Alpha, Generation Alpha, which is my grandson, and then
Mhm.
Beta. That's the
Yeah.
next generation.
Generation
yeah,
Alpha?
yeah, that's the next.
Kind of
That's
badass name.
yeah, that's my grandson.
I don't know. Whenever I look into it, because I just looked at it. I was like, okay, so what is considered a millennial? What is considered
guys.
Gen Z and X, whatever?
Which
And
one are we?
but there was
Millennial.
none of millennial because we were born after 1980, according to most things. But it doesn't really seem to like have any concrete
No, it's
answer.
made up.
Yeah.
It's all made up.
That there's no like definition. So it's like you don't. It really just comes down to a matter of someone's opinion of what I am. Am I a millennial? Am I a Gen X
I would
or?
say you're a millennial.
Yeah, I mean, most probably people would, but
Yeah.
still, it just comes down to a matter of
It's
opinion.
these guys
We're all
that I
people.
feel-
That's what I
technically aren't millennials.
Yeah,
And lazy generation over there. Energy drinks.
yeah,
Buying avocado toast, you can't buy a house.
yes. I don't know. I mean, I see people use it to like for humor and stuff, and making memes and stuff like that, where people kind of like poke fun with it. That I'm okay with or whatever, but like, because I don't know, I try not to get easily offended by stuff like that, but
It's just a way to categorize people. That's
yeah,
all it is.
it really is. I just feel like the internet gets bored too. Also,
Yeah.
Goes beyond.
it's like a
Keyboard warriors.
Yeah, that's like a slow news day, like, okay, let's start a fight type of situation. But that's just my opinion.
I always find it interesting that the generation before the boomers is called the greatest generation.
I
Can you
know.
argue?
What?
Can you
Why?
argue?
Why are they considered the greatest generation?
I never hear the greatest generation. I always hear the greatest 18 to 24-year-olds.
Well, that's what. Yeah, I mean that's what they're saying.
They always put them on that pedestal, like
Yeah,
people that volunteer to go to war and all that, which
went through the
is
Great Depression.
which is
I
something.
get it.
Mhm.
At the same time,
They-
like
you cause all
I
the
think if-
problems. Right?
The boomers caused all the problems.
The boomers did not cause the Great
boomers,
Depression.
Oh, I didn't think you were talking about the Great Depression.
That's considered the greatest generation. That's what they're called. The
The
generation.
people that do
Okay. Yeah. So they didn't cause the Great Depression. They were babies.
So who are the people
I don't
that
know.
caused it?
I don't know.
That raised the greatest generation?
They caused the Great Depression.
Yeah.
A lot of them people like big, hard capitalists,
Yeah.
trading money they didn't have on things. Let's buy a bunch of stock on loan. Like, you don't have to pay for it now, pay for it later. It's going up, it'll last forever.
And then it
You can do that
crashed.
for a while.
Yeah.
And
Nothing's
everyone's like,
sustained.
we need to get our money because everything is worth less than what you put in. Like, I don't have it. Okay.
Yeah.
And then it just cycles from there.
And who was responsible for the housing market crash in 2008, which caused?
Thanks.
Yeah, what caused was that was that a recession that we went into that was like?
The economy as we know it really was on like a cliff. There was like 1 foot over the edge of a cliff where, like, if you stumbled, it would be your money doesn't exist in the bank anymore.
Yeah.
Like, it really was that close, which is like they're too big to fail things up. Which you can. I think there's arguments on how things get that big and should they be let to get that big, but it really was true.
Yeah.
Like, if you let that fail, like suddenly 10% of Americans can't get their money out of anywhere, that's a problem.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. I'll say. Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. I think every generation has their
They do.
mess ups.
You know who they don't talk about? Generation X.
Because you
Who's that?
Because you guys are not vocal
Me.
about anything.
Oh.
Me.
Is that like pre-80s?
Yeah, it's between the boomers and the millennials.
Yeah.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares about us. We don't cause any problems.
Hippies, right?
Don't
Yeah.
cause problems? No.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Technically, I shouldn't be raising you. You should have
Mhm.
boomer parents.
Yeah. At the end of the day,
Generation.
I do think I agree that it's pointless. I don't see
It
a
is
real
pointless.
point to
There's-
them
Like I said, it's just
because I don't see an
categories.
upside to it. So
Just weird categories.
People like to categorize
Yep.
things.
yeah.
It does
That's all it
give
is.
it does give interesting information. Like you said, like this particular stat, people born between 85 and 95 have this. Like that's relevant information.
Yeah.
It's just like the demographic things when you fill
Mhm.
out like your
Yeah.
your age bracket. It's,
Yeah.
You know, how much money. It's all the same. It's all
Mm-hmm.
that. Market
Sure.
research.
Good point.
Mhm.
All right. Where you guys stand?
I don't really honestly.
Yeah, I've never looked into it once.
Your generation kind of gets the most crap around it, I think.
They're technically millennials.
I couldn't care less.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
See what I mean?
old people. It's always the boomers that had life so easy. They come at my generation saying that we don't care about anything and that we're the ones, they're ruining everything. We don't
Not
care.
doing anything to
Yeah.
change.
We just want participation trophies, and I'm like,
So do you guys know?
But they're the ones that gave them out. That's
So
what's
do you
bad.
guys have the mindset that you're millennial or a Gen Z?
not a single thought.
Yeah, I've
Not a
never,
single thought.
I've never
I
cared
don't
to
care
think
what
about
generation.
Which one you fall in?
No.
If you look it up, though.
So you don't know who they're talking. So
I wanna
Talking
be-
to somebody else.
Call me
Yeah.
Jimmy Frog, like whatever you want. I don't care. It doesn't matter.
You said Generation Frog.
Yeah, do whatever you want.
Yeah.
We're just gonna come up with new names every time.
We're just gonna
It's
come up
just-
with new ways to argue.
It's kind of
It's
baffling to me
pointless.
because, like, for Gen X, it starts in like 1965 or something like that. That's vastly different from when I was born in 1979. That's vastly different.
Yeah. I
So
would say
that's
so,
why
yeah.
there's like a micro, the Zennials,
Oh.
which starts with the X, so it's like 4 years. I know, right? This is where it's
This is why I don't even try.
It's
I know it's
that's what-
ridiculous.
It's really ridiculous. It really
Yeah.
is. I don't know.
Zennial.
Yeah, because they
I've heard of
like
that.
in
It's not even a
between
word.
like the Gen X and the Millennials, it's like this very small it's like actually like me and my husband. It's because we fall in that category of we knew what life was like before the internet, but yet we still know how to navigate it, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And before cell phones, and we played outside till street lights came on, kind of thing. And
See, this thing, you think you guys are the last people to do that?
no, because we raised it that way too. So I'm just saying,
Yeah.
it's just.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
then. Well, there we have it.
Nah.
Silly talk.
Silly